Hey, it's the radio on radio, no radio. And today we're talking about committing to yourself. So, like always, I'm going to just break down the word commitment real quick. Commitment is defined as the state or quality of being dedicated to a cause or activity. It also means an engagement or obligation that restricts freedom of action. So let's just take this real quick, real again. An engagement or obligation that restricts freedom of action. So, commitment. How does one commit to themselves? First, let me go over the ways in the form of a roadmap. So, when you start committing to yourself, when you decide to make a commitment to yourself, I want to say go about the ways how you can do it. First, you got to get your mindset right. Then, you have to get your goals in order. Third, you have to focus on what's important out of the goals. All your goals aren't going to be important for what you're trying to accomplish. And lastly, you have to become accountable to yourself, right? So just to say them over real quick and make it easy for everybody to understand. Mindset, goals, focus on what's important, accountability to yourself, right? So I want to take this from a left side so everybody can see it on the right side. When you make a commitment, you're committing to changing something about yourself, or necessarily you're committing to doing something new and or different, or something that you probably previously done before, right? So I want to come at you and let you guys look at it from the workout perspective real quick. Now, when you commit to yourself, right, it says, let's say you commit to a workout. It's an engagement or obligation that restricts freedom of action. So anything you commit to, whether it be working out, a diet, a relationship, a job, an application, they're always going to be something that you have to let go and or sacrifice for yourself to get there, right? Now, speaking from personal experience, a lot of time people are afraid to commit because they always say, well, I don't have enough information. Well, having not enough information is an excuse not to push yourself forward. A lot of times, you're not going to get enough information in whatever you're trying to do or whatever you're trying to pursue. So you need to jump in there and gain experience through the process, right? Through the process, experience and knowledge through the process of achieving what you're going after. Like, unless I start running this race, I won't know what the road looks like. And if I choose not to run down that road, I'm never going to know what that road can hold for me. It's just as simple as that. It's not, I can't look at it on Google Maps. I can't look at it through somebody else's eyes. I can't see that, something on a piece of paper. I have to actually go down that road myself. So sometimes not having enough information is a good thing because you can create and develop different ways to use the information you obtain to help you on your journey while you're walking it, right? So next thing I want to look at is that one of the things that hold people back is your surrounding environment, the power of association. If you're around people, and let's say you're trying to be committed to, let's say, a relationship, but you're around people who all they want to do is go hang out, party, cheat, because there are some groups of people that just cheat. I'm not saying what they're doing is right, but they want to go over there and that's what they want to do. If your friends are cheaters, or you hang out with cheaters, or you hang out with people who just live a lifestyle where they may not even be cheating, you're used to multiple partners. That's not a good association for you to keep if you're going to be hanging out with these people all the time. So it's going to be hard for you to make a commitment to something like a relationship where it only requires you to be with one person and not do something like that, right? That's another reason that people, and this is just an example, that's another reason why people aren't able to commit, because their power of the associations, who they hang out with, right? Now, I want to talk about a different angle. A lot of time people are afraid to commit because they're afraid they're going to fail. Well, I just did a whole couple videos on failure and rejection. So I recommend you guys actually go look at those videos somewhere posted there in my account. I'll probably even try to repost a link for you. But if fear and rejection is something that's holding you back from committing to something, let's say a lot of people are afraid to start a new job because it means that they will have to commit to more hours or more responsibility or more leadership they're just not ready for that. Or maybe it makes their job, makes them public speak or travel more. So they don't want to commit to something like that. Maybe they don't want to take a certain class or go for a certain career goal, i.e., pursuing a certain major in school because they're scared to fail and they're scared of that rejection of their peers, or they're scared of the rejection of the grades or whatever they're scared of. They're just scared to make a commitment to something because they have in their heart that they can't pass, or that they won't pass, or that they won't get far, or that there'll be a laughing stock, whatever their fear could be. That's holding them back as well. So you have those three things: not enough information, fear, and then your power of association. Now, let's talk about your faith level. Like, do you believe in yourself? Because if you can believe in yourself through the use of Christ, or through the use of, your sheer willpower, which is a hard in itself, but it's not impossible. If you can believe in yourself to the point where it can push you past the point of fear, you can overcome that. A lot of people don't believe in themselves enough to commit, and it doesn't usually have anything to do with fear. It's just an insecurity they have in themselves that they're not able to obtain that because they're not meant to have that. They don't believe that they can get there. And it may have nothing to do with fear. They just may feel like they don't deserve that lifestyle, right? So you gotta have a strong belief in what you're committing to. Otherwise, you're not gonna see it through. The step 5 is never giving up. Never, ever giving up. Like, I can tell you right now. All right, so guys, after I got out of the military, I was homeless for a little while. If I chose to give up and stay where I was at, you probably see me outside with, a sign asking for a quarter, right? Or a couple change here and there. Shoot, even one of my friends at the time, he had gave me a couple dollars just to get something to eat. And I was at a rough spot in my time. But I was like, you know what? I believe I got to make a commitment to myself to get myself out of the situation that I'm going to be able to change, right? So back then I was doing this thing they call hoping and wishing, but I like to also call it praying. And I was asking somebody I didn't understand to who it was to be at the time, but I understand him as God now. I asked him, I was like, I need to get out my situation. God, please. If you change my situation, I promise I won't ever again. All I was doing was verbally committing to myself and, the person I was asking, God, to help me out of my situation so that I can move on. But it was because I was never willing to give up. If I would have gave up, I would have just, y'all would have found me living underneath a bridge or whatever. I wouldn't even have a phone. But my point is, never giving up. Giving up is the worst thing you could possibly do in anything. Failure is okay because you can learn from failure. But remember, giving up is failing and staying there. And that's what it is. It's giving up and quitting is the same thing, right? So I'm here today to ask you and have you challenge yourself. Are you committing to yourself? Because now I want you to understand that without committing to yourself, you will never be able to commit to others truly. Truly. You will never be able to commit to other people truly. You may be able to put their priorities before yours, but truly be able to commit to another person. I'm talking about being a parent. I'm talking about being in a relationship. I'm talking about being a mentor. I'm talking about being a student. I'm talking about being a teacher. I'm talking about being a best friend. How are you going to commit to others without committing to yourself? Is that possible? And if it is possible, which I highly doubt it, because I'm talking about truly committing to them, right? If you can truly commit to another person without committing to yourself, what does that mean for you as a person? Why do you feel like you're so insecure, or you have insecurities that make you put other people before you? Remember, this is not for me to change you. This is for you to change you if you want to change you. This is just to give you a different perspective. I'm no better than you guys were. I actually came from a lot of worse positions than, most of the people that's on my timeline anyway. But you got to understand that just because you're in a bad situation, you don't have to stay there. And the only way to propel yourself and to get to a area in your life where you want to perform better is that you got to start making commitments to yourself. I'm talking about little commitments. It doesn't have to be something grand. It could be something as simple as every day I'm going to read. Every day I'm going to have 2 cups of water on top of the 1,000 cups of juice I'm having, right? Every day I'm going to try to walk a little bit longer. It could be simple things. Every day I'm going to write in my journal. Just trying to get a little notes down and get my thoughts out. Every day I'm going to set and rework goals. Right? That's what I'm talking about. You got to make a commitment to yourself. If you want to get to the next stage in your life, you got to start making commitments to yourself that will truly help you to commit to others. And that's it, because I don't like beating dead horses. But just to go over what it is again, I want to say the steps for you to start working on your commitment is 1, your mindset. 2, reworking and rewriting your goals or refining. 3, your focus on what's important. And 4, being accountable to yourself. All right? Any questions, comments, please like, share, love me, hate me. It's Stu Radio on the radio, no radio. I will be taking options and suggestions for next week's topic as well. I love you guys. Thank you for watching all my videos. Thank you for, laughing. I'm just trying to help y'all help guys out. Just pass the information along. Don't hold on to information like a hoarder. We don't do that. The true way to help the next person is to pass the information along. Even if you're not going to use it yourself, pass it to somebody who's going to use it. And that's all I got to say. Thank you guys. See you later.